this, especially if I look cuter than any girl does. Like, what's the problem? Like, what's the issue? And I'm out all the time, you know, and like I'm killing a dress and no one else is. Like the girls in the room are not doing it. Like they don't look cute.
If you believe that isn't how you want to run your family, I have no choice but to respect that. But don't pretend as if it isn't an unpopular sentiment.
An enormous percentage of Hollywood kids are trans. Like, how many celebrities have trans kids? It's new. It's not a thing that was going on just a few, it was rare in the past.
In the ritual of Baphomet, the transgender, to show allegiance to him, you had to kiss his ass ring.
So DL Hughley just went in on Magic Johnson's son, EJ, and honestly, it's getting ugly. In case you missed it, EJ has been catching heat for weeks now for saying he looks better than every woman in the room and announcing he won't date gay men. He's managed to piss off pretty much everybody. Women are dragging him, gay influencers are dragging him, and now DL is insulting him and saying, why is every Hollywood kid's coming out as trans? Is it just a coincidence, or is it some kind of programming?
What is going on in Hollywood?
This all started last month when EJ Johnson sat down for an interview with Carlos King, and EJ made a series of statements that have the internet in a chokehold, but not in a good way. So first, EJ revealed that he told his parents Magic and Cookie to stop using he, man, and even the word son.
But even I told them on my birthday in June that I was like, we're not doing he, we're not doing man, we're not doing gay. Like, and it was very freeing, you know, even like son. I was like, you know, the world tried to give me that label, like Magic Johnson's son. And I was like, well, he's dead. And now there is Miss Thing. Like, we're not doing that either.
EJ explained he prefers for people to refer to him using they or she pronouns. But here's the thing, EJ is not actually transitioning to a woman, and they or she doesn't want people to call them a trans woman.
Are there pronouns that you go by today, or how do you identify your sexuality?
I just say call me EJ as much as possible. Okay. You know, it's like pronouns I don't really like he. You know, they is fine, you know. Whatever, she is cool. Like I'm really not a stickler about it.
Yeah,
they'll keep saying man or bro too many times, and I'm like, I'm not your bro. Like, you know, but it's usually just somebody you're never going to see again, so who cares? But yeah, like I said, I was like always a deeply feminine being, and like, you know, that's really all that matters to me. You know, it's like I'm extremely happy in this body. Like I love my skin. I love waking up and being me every day. Like it's a beautiful thing, like to walk into the, you know, bathroom and see yourself in the mirror and you're just like, that bitch, like, yes. Mm-hmm. Like it's that for me right now.
During that same interview, EJ made it crystal clear that he did not date gay men and explicitly said he prefers straight men or men with strong masculine energy.
I don't attract gay men, and I'm not attracted to gay men. But to be honest, it's like that's why I don't go to gay clubs. I don't go to, you know, gay things, because it's like the men that I attract are not there. I do that when I go to the straight rooms.
So so has it always been that way for you in terms of when it comes to men? Has it always been what some people consider the straight guy always being the one that would approach you?
Or somebody who, has been intimate and dating, you know, women for most of their life, or like up until then, for sure. Absolutely. It has always been that way, but now it's like even more so now that I definitely present in more of a feminine way. Because also, like, it's like my energy is that.
But then it got even messier because EJ boldly said that no matter what room he's in, he always looks better than any woman there.
Even when I was a kid and like they were like, well, you can't wear skirts. And I was like, well, why not? You know, it's like my inner being was like, there's nothing wrong with this, especially if I look cuter than any girl does. Like, what's the problem? Like, what's the issue? And that's exactly how I apply it to myself to these days in the way that I present, like in my in my feminine regalia. I've always been a feminine being, and like that's just like how I best express myself. But I'm like, listen, I'm out all the time, and like I'm killing a dress and no one else is. Like the girls in the room are not doing it. Like they don't look cute. They're not dressed to any nines. So
now here's why so many fans think this is problematic. EJ wants to claim the space, the pronouns, and the social capital of womanhood, wear the clothes, and assert their femininity, but he don't want to actually identify as a woman. And the fact that EJ had to denigrate other women to justify his femininity is very sad and telling. Also, EJ is moving through the world with the privilege of being Magic Johnson's child, wearing designer women's clothes, and positioning themselves as the pinnacle of femininity without facing the actual societal consequences of being a woman, and all the while looking like a man dressed in drag. Women are out here fighting for equal pay, dealing with misogyny and the physical realities of womanhood, and EJ basically said, I can do this better than you, but also, don't call me a woman. So it feels like EJ thinks being a woman is a costume. He gets to pick and choose the fun parts of being a woman, the clothes, the makeup, the attention, while rejecting the identity and the struggle that comes with it. And when you claim you look better than women, while at the same time refusing to claim the title of woman, I'm sorry, but it's giving misogyny in a wig. And as you can imagine, people on the internet had a lot to say about it, and they were not holding back either. Someone on X wrote, "The way y'all don't say nothing when gay men ish on women daily, but want people to watch their tone about a Bigfoot oversized crossdresser." Another person said, "Nah, cause gay men are highly disrespectful towards women, and it's not discussed enough." And then this user added, "He's so effing delusional, it's not even funny. No sir, you don't look better than any woman in a skirt, you big 6'4". He not even passing for a trans. But it's not just women who found EJ's comments offensive. Even the queer community is dragging him and saying they don't claim them as one of their own. Popular gay influencer Landon Romano put EJ on blast for competing with women, and he called him delusional for saying he's always the baddest in the room.
EJ Johnson said he is the baddest in the room. He's better than any other female in the room. Well, yes, if the room is empty. Listen, EJ, I don't understand why the LGBTQ community is always trying to be in competition with women. Women is not in competition with us, especially if you up there trying to be a woman. You in woman's clothes, you in a dress, and that's cool. Express yourself how you want to, but why are you trying to bring down the next bit? You better than them. Anybody with two sets of eyes know that's not true. I don't know what land of delusion you reside in, but you best check the mailbox. The brochure said false advertisement. That is not true. That is incorrect. Okay, thank you.
Meanwhile, Bobby Lights, a prominent gay reality star, came for EJ's aesthetic, saying EJ presents like a Republican white woman. Bobby wrote, "No girl, the reason you feel unaccepted in the gay community is because you walk around thinking you are a Republican white woman in her mid-40s with a vegan, gluten-free chip on your shoulder." But there's another angle to this story, and it's coming from people like DL Hughley and Cat Williams, who've been questioning why so many Hollywood celebrities have children who are trans or trans-presenting. You got Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, who claim their son Zion, who now goes by Zaya, knew at age 3 they were transgender.
She was the one who sat down with us as a family and said, "Hey, I don't think I'm gay, right? I identify myself as a young lady." But she's known that for 9 years.
She's known since she was 3.
She's known since she was 3 years old. This is her life. This is no game to us. We're about protecting her heart. We're about protecting her joy. To do that, we have to support them. We see the smile on our daughter's face. We see the confidence that she's able to walk around and be herself. And that's when you know you're doing right.
Then there's Marlon Wayans, who announced in 2023 that his daughter, formerly named Amai, had transitioned into his son, Kai. Eddie Murphy has a daughter who is now living as a trans man. Then you have Elon Musk, Robert De Niro, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Charlize Theron. They all have transgender daughters. Meanwhile, Angelina Jolie's daughter Shiloh and one of Megan Fox's sons identify as non-binary or gender non-conforming. And then in the music world, Cher and Sade both have transgender sons, while J-Lo's daughter Emmy now goes by non-binary. And just recently, Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck's child Finn, formerly known as Serafina, also came out as non-binary. Now, there are a bunch of theories about why so many celebrities have trans or non-binary children. One theory is basically that these kids had magical, Disney fairy tale, overprotected childhoods. So when puberty hit and reality came crashing in, they just couldn't deal. So transitioning becomes a way to hit pause on growing up. Another theory is about what is called social contagion. This means these kids tend to run in tight friend groups, often neurodivergent, and when one kid comes out, suddenly finally, the whole group follows. So in this case, it would be less about individual identity and more about group belonging. Then there's the idea that some of these kids were raised by emotionally distant, narcissistic parents. So for them, transitioning is a way to get attention. And some theories also get into guilt and privilege. Basically, these kids are taught to feel bad about their wealth or their whiteness. So identifying as trans gives them a marginalized identity that feels more authentic. And honestly, a lot of it circles back to attention. Some of these kids were perfectly fine, but they didn't have any special talent or ability like their parents. So when they came out, suddenly everyone was calling them brave and stunning, and that validation becomes addictive. But if you ask DL Hughley, this all comes down to parents. DL discussed Dwayne Wade claiming his son knew at age 3 he was trans, and he said this is simply insanity, because there is no way someone that young would even know what trans means unless the parents exposed him to that world. Also, Dwayne and Gabrielle allowed Zaya to have gender assignment surgery before she turned 18, and according to DL, this is way too early to be making such radical decisions.
To me, you're not grown till you leave my house. You're not going. If you're still going to a pediatrician, if you need my permission to go to a movie, then I'm going to have a say in what happens. If you believe that isn't how you want to run your family, I have no choice but to respect that. But don't pretend as if it isn't an unpopular sentiment to life.
And then you have folks like Cat Williams who took this even further and claimed the reason so many celebrities have trans children is because it's all part of a ritual or sacrifice they have to make for fame and money.
So 20 years ago, I knew that transgenders was gonna be a thing. I had seen that word transgender was Baphomet, the transgender.
But now I want to hear your thoughts on all this. How do you feel about EJ Johnson saying he looks better than any woman? And what about all these theories on why Hollywood celebs have trans kids? Is it just a coincidence and they're simply more visible than the average person? Or do you think there's really some type of programming going on? Leave your thoughts in the comments and stay tuned for the next video.